The resource person is Shubham Singhal, a seasoned content developer with 10 plus years of experience in technical writing, advocacy, and collaboration. So he's passionate about bridging the gap between developers and users, ensuring clear, accurate, and user friendly documentation. So, a dedicated customer advocate who thrives in fast paced environments. And I'm sure that all of us are like at the edge of our seats sitting and waiting, to know more about this because we so much need this particular skill. And without any further ado, I would just like to go ahead and hand it over to Shubham. Shubham, the stage is all yours. We are all eagerly waiting to learn more.
All right. So I'll share my screen again. We don't need this. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes, Shubham.
Yes.
Okay. So I have created this PPT. What did I call it? Means here we have everything that you need to know. Okay, you can refer to this anytime during the session. It will help you, okay, to get the commands, what we are talking about, to get examples and everything. Okay, we did this part, download files. And if you want, you can use Visual Studio Code, you can use Notepad++ or any other editor. Okay, Visual Studio Code is better because it has some features that Microsoft provides. Notepad++
Uh,
is open source.
Shubham, can you go on the presentation mode? So screen is, people are saying screen is not fully visible. Right now
Uh,
it's in the edit
I will
mode.
be switching between
All
presentation
right,
and
right,
that
right.
command prompt. That's why I'm not doing that.
Okay, just see if you can increase the size of the window. That's it. Magnify it.
Okay, that I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, is it good now?
If, Shubham, if you could close the list of people present, that is displayed on the right side of your screen.
I do not see that.
No, it should be on your screen only. It's not on Shubham's screen. You will need to close it. Who asked
Do
that?
you do you people have this PDF or PPT?
No, I don't think we sent it. We will send it right away. Sorry.
Okay. So meanwhile, Puneet is sending you this particular slide. Okay. Here I am talking about what files you can download. One is Python setup. One is Visual Studio Code. Optional NPM. You won't need it in this workshop, but that's why it is optional. Okay. Then we talked about how to install Python and how to set up a Python environment. Now, when you are starting with Python, you don't need Python environment. Okay, we will work in a one environment only. But you will see this term when you will go ahead or you will search for something. You might come across what is environment. So that's why I'm trying to explain here that in a company, people work on multiple projects. Each project has a separate requirement. Some libraries work on the earlier version of Python. Some libraries work on the later version of Python. Okay. For example, when I'm doing this AI thing, I was researching about it. Then there are very many open libraries like PyTorch is there, TensorFlow is there. So in PyTorch, they have around 20-30 versions. Okay. My system is an old one. It suppose the very old version of PyTorch, and that PyTorch requires the previous version of Python, means earlier version of Python. So that's why if I have to work on that kind of project, I need to create a separate environment. If I'm working on something else, latest cutting technology, or if I'm working with other resources, I need a separate environment that requires later version of Python. Okay, that's why now since I'm working on both these things, I might need a different Python environments and things or libraries or whatever is in this environment does not affect this environment. So it might be possible that if you're using a library, you might not need to install two times. One in this environment, one is this environment. But at this point, this is all theoretical. We don't need this in our workshop. Okay, I just gave you high level overview. If you see this, don't worry about it. Okay, anyone wants to ask anything about it? No? Okay, I'm going ahead. Hmm.
CMD, I am typing this, Python, but it is giving error.
Then you need to do this. You need to install Python.
Yeah, I installed it.
If you have installed it, then there's a second. Do one thing. Mm, 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 mm. First, find where your Python is installed.
Okay.
Okay, Windows E. So for me, my Python is installed somewhere in.
Shubham, hi. So we can also access it from ideally shell, right? That window, if not from the command prompt.
You can, you can. What's happening is that, see, my Python is installed somewhere over here in local or something like this.
Okay.
Okay, it is not in the program files.
Okay.
See, my Python is here. So what's happening is that now when I am running my Python from some other directory, it is C users HP, but if I'm running it from C, yeah, I do forget commands. If you are running from other directory, then on this directory path, this Python is not available. So you need to find your Python, then you need to add this path to your environment variables path. Edit the environment variables. Everyone who is facing this problem, who has Python installed but not running, go to environment variables. Here in path, edit the path, and here provide a create new and provide the path. Like I have done this, edit. Python 310 is there, Python 311 is there. If you do this, you do okay, then your problem might be resolved. In 99% cases, this works. Can you do it? Whoever is facing the problem. If this solves, let
Shubham,
others
can you
know.
send? Can you share it again,
Okay.
please?
First, identify the path of where your Python is installed. Like for me, it is not installed in programs or program files. It is installed in local user.
How you went there? How you have to find out? Each and every folder we cannot read. We have to search for. I search for Python. If I see
See,
the
search for three
first,
places. One, your user. In your user, go to app data local programs.
hmm,
These are hidden files, I think, app data or something, or local is hidden. Either look at this place or look at your conventional path. program files and program file 66.
Give us some time. Give us
The
some time before we proceed.
yeah,
Just a 5 6 minutes.
Yeah, so Shubham, just a clarification. For someone where if changing variables is not working, then they can shift their working repository to the place where this Python is there, right?
yeah.
That will
So
definitely.
do this, copy this, okay, and go to cmdn cd space this and then type Python.
And to test it, what it should be was print in inverted hello. That is enough.
Environment variables.
No, no, I'm saying
I'm waiting.
give me a second, please. Yes, got it. Yes, Shubham, got it.
Okay. So if anyone else is having the same issue, please help them. Okay. Use chat so that I can continue with my thing. We'll stop in between, but please help them.
Yes,
Okay. So assuming your Python is working, okay. How do we know your Python is working? Uh, in your Python window, where you are seeing these three arrows, type print, print, then we will give a bracket, apostrophe, hello world, close, enter. So it printed hello world. Anyone who is not able to do this, okay, I'm going ahead. Now, when we are working in Python, or if you are reading a code in Python, okay, first of all, why we are doing this workshop? So that when you want information from a developer, you want information about what they are actually doing. Okay, developers doesn't tell you everything. They just tell you what they think is the best. And always that is not the best thing. Okay, if you are doing developer documentation, if you are doing API documentation, or if you want to get more from developer, then we want to look at their code. Okay, the code might be in C sharp, Java, Python, I don't know. Python is the easiest, so we picked it up. And when you look at the code, then you must understand that how things are flowing, what they are trying to do. We do not want to interpret every line of code. We do not want to write a new code. We do not want to identify bugs in a code. Our only target is to understand the workflow of the code, the happy path. Okay. That will tell us that if they have put any additional condition, like if something is true, then that thing should happen. If that condition is important to people, we can document it. Okay. Now keeping this whole scenario in mind, we will work on Python. So first thing in Python is that variables, like if you have a name of a city, then you want to store it. Okay. First you store it in a database, like their SQL database and everything. But a program needs to go to the database, fetch the value and store it within the program. Okay, so that you can use it for every operation. It will not go to the database. It will have its own memory, the program memory, in which it will keep the values so it can reuse it, it can work on it. That little memory or that thing, we call them variables. To store everything we use a variable. Okay, now for example, if I want to declare a variable, I am using this example, city, temperature. Okay, I'll go to my Python again. Okay, here I will type city equal to Delhi. Now why I'm using inverted commas? Because it is a string. Everybody knows what a string is. Okay, random characters that system doesn't understand. That's why I'm putting inverted commas. Okay, nothing happened because we did not print the city. We have just created a variable city and its value is Delhi. Okay, and I can create one more with a number or integer which doesn't include inverted commas. Okay, now if I want to print city, what will happen? Like here, when I did print hello world, it showed me hello world. Here I am printing city, then what should be the answer? It would be city or it would be Delhi.
Delhi. Delhi. Delhi.
It should be Delhi.
Yes, yes.
Delhi.
And what would happen if I do this? What will be the answer?
City. City.
City. City.
Exactly. So that's what we need to understand, that how inverted commas work. Print is a function that is doing something, and we want to print a variable or a string. Inverted commas are string, so it displayed city. Without inverted commas, it is city. That's why it displayed Delhi. And if I use something that is not defined, uh, then it gives me error. Name is not defined. Now what it will print if I do this?
19.
Try it on your system, then tell me.
It'll give you 19.
It's 19.
Te- do it on your system.
Yeah, I did.
It is giving 19.
Yeah.
Shubham, this is Tanushree
No.
here. Hey, hi, Shubham. This is Tanushree here.
Hi.
Hello. I had a quick question. So, before print, are we adding any space? Just wanted to confirm once the syntax, or just the print
These
and
are
the way you.
lot of such questions that you will encounter. So instead of, I'll say just try.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now when I print temperature, now if I want to see Let me try this command if it works or not. Hmm. Can you tell me what I'm doing here?
Defining an integer.
Printing the data type of
I'm
the
using print function, so I'm not defining anything. But
print.
good
You're
thought.
you're trying to print the data
We are
type.
defining data type. We are defining data type.
Again, I'm using print function. Print doesn't define, but yes, your thought process is correct. I am trying to identify the data type. Now, why I'm doing it? Print city plus temperature. It cannot concatenate string with integer. Okay, let's fix this. Print city plus convert to string temperature. Oh, I didn't give a space. City space plus temperature. Do you understand what we are doing here? In when you will look at your developer's code, you will see lot of such thing. Sometimes they convert to string, sometimes they convert to integer. These are standard functions. Now, how many of such functions you should remember? Ask Google. Don't remember what you want to do. Ask Google. Okay. But at least when you are looking at it, then you will understand, okay, we are printing a variable. We have given a space and we are printing another variable, and another variable. We are changing the variable. In developers code, they don't generally print because it print the console. It is not, we are not printing in the file. We are not generating the log file. So they doesn't do a lot of print. They will simply use this. But we are doing a visual way. This is our first day. So we will print everything so we can see errors also. Okay. Everybody is good with basic operations.
Yes.
Okay. Next. Data types.
Hi Shubham, sorry to interrupt. Ashwini
Hmm.
this side. Are we
Hi.
supposed to use? Are we not supposed to use the capital letters in the Python window? It's only the small case, is it?
Let's see. Print city. No, you cannot use print capital.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. And if you have, you will have a lot of questions. This is our first day. How I learned is I just tried to attempt on the window. Okay. It gave me error. I tried to read the error, and that's how I remember things. Okay.
Okay, the command should be in
Okay.
small, but the value can be in the capital.
Value can be in the capital. Yeah, value can be anything. Most people
Yes.
use X, Y, and those kind of variables. We are still using
Yes.
a proper variable name.
Hmm. So the commands should be in the small but.
Yeah, commands are always in small. Unless someone defined a library with,
Hmm.
well,
Hmm.
for example, I'll tell you. See, your variables can have capital.
Hmm.
Okay. but your commands cannot. And sometimes if you have a variable name that is similar to command, then you can use caps to tell the system that this is a variable, this is a command.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, one more thing that we want to do here is that uh, suppose I want to change the name of this city from Delhi to somewhere else. For that, again, I need to type the whole command city equal to Delhi. Oh, not Delhi, Mumbai. If I don't want to type so many commands and if I want to reuse my code, what people do is they open a notepad, Visual Studio, and here they write it. In Python, we do not use colons, semicolons, or anything unlike Java and C Sharp. Temperature equal to 19. Correct? This stupid AI. 19. And I will save it as a Python file. When I save it as a Python file, don't look at this. This is showing as a suggestion, but it is not in dark color. I need to turn off my AI. Okay. I can run from here. So it ran. Okay. Let me change my directory also here. cd desktop. Okay. So you don't need to look at this. I was working on another project. That's why it was so messy. So create a file. So if you want to change something, you can change directly in the file. You don't need to type all the commands again. Save. Let's print city plus. See, it is showing me suggestion. City temperature is this degree Celsius. Let's try this. Save. Run. Mumbai temperature is 19 degrees Celsius. How do I close this? Python. Where's my py file that I just created? Oh, where did I keep it? Okay, I'll kill it again. Okay. Are you using this any file or you want to continue with the command terminal?
No, this is better. VS is always better.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody is having issues, please talk with other people who are using VSS. Okay. Or we will talk at the end of the workshop if for more specific questions. Plus, this is unless you write within quotes like this. If it is within quotes, it will print. If you are not writing within quotes, it will work as an aggregator. City and space and temperature. And there are three quotes in between, which is wrong. So that's why it is giving me error. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at the data types. 99% of time you will use these 5-6 data types. String means any set of characters, integer means whole numbers without quotes, float uh, numbers with decimals, boolean true or false, nothing else, either true or false with capital F. List in square brackets, anything in between. If instead of integer you are writing string, then it will come under inverted commas. Okay. And dictionary, where there is a variable and let's say key and value pair. That's a dictionary separated by commas. Okay. Again, the rules apply here. If it is an integer, then it will be without inverted commas, else everything will be in inverted commas. Okay. I am keeping the screen on. Go to your Visual Studio. Okay. Use the blue things and define your variables. Type state equal to Delhi, temperature equal to 19, longitude equal to this, capital, city code, city detail, and try to convert the data type. Do this exercise and tell me if you are getting any error or you understand it fully. Meanwhile, if anyone has any questions, shoot. Are you doing it? Speak up, people.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Hmm. I like to hear voices. Okay, since you people are not talking, I'll talk. Why do we convert data types? Anybody can answer?
Because the in at times it might be necessary. Okay, please go ahead.
No, no, please go ahead,
What?
please.
Yeah, at times it might be necessary for us to, we want to work with different data types. So if we don't convert from one data type to another data type, let's say if we are not converting, let's say we have something in quantity that needs to be in integer, but if we need to convert that into some kind of monetary valuation in rupees and all, right, in price and all, so it needs to be changed to float and all, to just to have a you know um, a
Yeah,
balance. Yeah.
good point. Give me an example.
We can say like same thing like temperature is one such example. Temperature can be let's say we are converting it into Fahrenheit or Celsius, so it can be in float or something like that. Whereas the humidity is in percentage.
Hmm. Humidity is in percentage, but it is actually a float.
But
There is no data type
let's
for percentage.
yeah, so we would do it this way, like add an percentage sign after that particular float number.
Yeah, so you are concatenating
Yes,
percentage
percentage
sign
and
and okay, good example.
yeah, thanks.
Okay, let me give you one example. Anybody else before I give?
It can be to save more memory, to convert the data types. That might help. I mean, just an example.
Okay, I don't know about memory, I'm sorry. Means you might
It's
be
just
true. I just don't know.
just to
No, that
save
was
time.
just a guess from my end.
Okay, I'll give you example. APIs. APIs have a lot of data and not necessarily every data has the correct data type. Most of the people just send everything in API as a string. Even the numbers, even the float, even the boolean, they send everything in string. So when developers receive an API or API input, they're getting everything in string and they now need to perform operations. So they'll convert temperature into number so that they can do math operations. They will convert it is capital into boolean so they can apply true or false condition. And if you will document API documentation, if you have not done yet, then it is possible that your developers are not sending everything in correct data type. Look at the data types of all the variables they send. And for this time, those who are doing API documentation, instead of asking your developers, tell them to show in the code. You won't understand because there's a lot of referencing and variable to variable to variable and lot of things are there before they actually create an API. But still ask them where you have defined this variable. Show me that. Even if it is Java, even if it is C sharp, you will see similar kind of variables, just different syntax, but similar kind of variables.
Variables in sense you're saying data types or variables?
See, city is a variable.
Hmm.
String is a data type of this variable.
So we
Temperature
should
is
ask for
variable.
the,
In
so we
ask
should ask
them
for
to show the
the data type.
variables.
Achha.
Ask them for variables and identify the data type based on these variables.
Hmm.
Do this exercise just for fun. Okay. So you will actually see when you are doing API documentation what exact variable name they have been using. For suppose when we do documentation, the variable names are always in small case, right? Now you know that in API, whenever you are defining a key value pair, key, the starting of key, or key should, ideally the key should be in small case. Ideally, not necessary, but mostly they are in small case. So if you see a key in a capital case, starting with capital, like here I am using C as a capital in between, it doesn't matter. But if you see the key where this L is capital, you might want to ask them that are you actually using capital longitude with capital L? Because this kind of thing might be a miss. And longitude with capital L is different variable from longitude with small l. These two can be two separate variables.
Hello, Shubham.
This,
I have a
yeah,
question. So
shoot.
you mentioned in that not now, maybe tomorrow at the end of the session, if you could give a practical example of how we can make sense of what we are learning in the API documentation part. Let's say we have some set
Hmm.
of, I mean, we have a code and then how we will be able to practically use it, that kind of
Hmm.
angle. Yeah, if you can have a like something like that.
I think I kept it for tomorrow, that
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what,
thing,
like at
because
the
it,
end of the session. Yeah, that's what, at the end of
yeah,
the
yeah,
session. Thanks.
yeah. I'll show you my code, how I am doing it, so you can understand. Developers, all developers think similar only. Okay, so it had been 15 minutes. You people understood what are the data types? Did you convert your data types?
Uh, Shubham,
Hmm?
uh, I am I was able to convert the data type, but
Hmm.
once I try to convert a data type that was previously defined, I'm getting an error. I can send you the screenshot through chat. Okay.
Okay, let us all try to identify the error and find a solution.
Should I share my screen or should I send a screenshot?
Hmm.
You
Send
can
the
share your
screenshot.
screen.
Okay, share your screen. Hmm.
I think you are able to see my screen. So
Yeah.
okay. So as you told, I had defined it here. Okay.
Hmm.
Then I tried to uh, convert it and I got it like 90. Okay.
Hmm.
As
Hmm.
a float. Then as a string, I'm getting it as class string. Okay. But I
Hmm.
tried it on this is capital. So
Hmm.
when I say print type is capital, it is telling a trace back. this line.
Okay, that is a good error. Is capital is not defined because you made a spelling mistake in case capital when you are defining it. Is capital.
Okay. Okay, got it, Shubham. Uh, so
Yeah. This will
okay,
happen. It happened to me a
okay,
lot of time, but interesting error.
okay. I will stop sharing my screen.
Eh,
I will try it. So why
Yeah,
does that come in this purple color? So how should we change this or something like that?
that's your color scheme and it's your office laptop, don't touch.
Okay, okay. Sure.
Instead, try
Thank
using
you.
Visual Studio Code if you have.
I think I don't have Visual Studio.
Install it immediately. It gets installed
Okay,
immediately. You have, I
sure.
guess, you have. You have.
No, he doesn't have.
No. Yeah, you can install it.
Okay, thank you.
Or use Notepad plus plus, na?
Sure.
You have that.
So Notepad plus plus, then how do we'll have to load it here, is it, to run it?
Uh, First
For
of all,
execution, it's
for execution,
for
just a
execution is
second.
better to use
Go ahead.
Visual Studio is better, I guess, because for execution also it is easier and we can see the code as well. Don't have to jump on the
Sure.
screens.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Do
Shubham,
one
you can
thing.
add. That is
In
my suggestion.
Yeah, in your command prompt, type where space Python.
Here only can I type or should I?
Type type
Where?
type space type where space Python. Enter. No, it is not working. Okay, we need to look at it, but
Okay,
we'll look it out later. Okay.
thank you. I'll stop sharing my screen. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now these four are easy to work with. Simple variables, list and dictionary. These are mostly used, and this will give you a hard time, and you need to really understand this. Okay, but that for the later part. Let's see what we have next. Items in square bracket. Anything if you see in square bracket separated by comma is a list. A list has a rule that you want to keep the list format consistent. This is an empty list. It doesn't contain anything. Why we use this? To initialize a list and later add on items in the list. This is item list and this is API list. API always contains a dictionary, city code, value. In value, again, I have one more dictionary. So it's dictionary inside dictionary. But see, type this in your command prompt. I'll paste over here. Okay. Here, the important thing is key and value. Okay. Key and value. A value inside a value, there is again key and value, key and value. Okay. This at this point is looking easy, but If you will create your own dictionary, then you will see errors because you don't means you are understanding it, but you will forget. Actually, this happened to me. So, uh, key value. Okay, this is a key. Key's name is value, but this is a value. Everybody looked at this, understood this?
Shubham, can you please explain what actually dictionary means? Okay, so we are the first time users. Some of us have installed Python for the first time. So what are the keys? What are the values? Everything, if
Okay.
it is possible for you and it covers senior
Yeah,
timeline,
yeah.
yeah, that would help us actually. Many of us, I guess.
Okay.
We are assuming that everybody knows everything, right? So
No,
that would help. Yeah.
I am not assuming anything. Let me go back to the previous slide.
Hmm.
Here
Yes,
I
that
told
would be
you,
great actually, because so few of them are from mechanical background also. It's,
no, that's okay.
it's
See,
completely new. Yeah, it's completely new for me.
that's okay. Here, while working with data types, I told you that these are the variables, these are the values, and this is the data type. City, inverted commas. It's a string data type, it's a integer data type, it's float, it's Boolean data type. Now this is a list. Okay. And dictionary is something where curly brackets where which has key and value pair. What is the meaning of dictionary? You have a term, you have a definition. Let's talk in developers language. You have a key, you have a value. Okay.
Got it.
That is your dictionary. In list, we have only values. We have only one thing. Simple. In dictionary, we have a term and a definition. We call it key and value. We will always call it key and value. And this is how we define differentiate between key and value. By comma, we are differentiating first key value with second key value. So there are two key value pairs in it. This is how we do the key and value. Okay. Now,
Yes.
this I told you. In the next slide, I am telling you more about the list, and this is an empty list. This is simple list, and this is a list dictionary. The rule of the list was it should be separated by a comma. Okay. Then we had a dictionary where we had to have a key and value. Okay. This looks difficult, but what I want you to do is I pasted this in the chat also for your reference. Okay. Now going back to the previous slide. I want to create a list of city with city details inside it. Same thing that I have done here. I want you to do it yourself. Use this as a reference. Don't cheat. It will not affect me, but you won't learn. Use this as a reference. Do it yourself and create a list dictionary. If you can do this, by the time you do this, not today, maybe if you'll try working on Python in next 2 to 3 days, You will master your this list dictionary, and you will learn at least 20% of Python just by learning list dictionary, because it will open your thought process, how to think about some things, how to look at the errors, how to rectify them. Okay, create a list dictionary. This is the slide I have opened. Use chat for a reference. Do it for a few minutes, and then I'll explain you why I did that and why it works, why nothing else works. Okay, you will get errors. If you don't understand how to solve that error, tell me, we will discuss. Nobody is getting any error, or you are able to solve it.
I'm only getting errors.
You want to discuss your error?
Yeah, I'm in the initial stage only where you told to just copy and paste it, but uh, I can send you the screenshot.
No, I told you to not to copy and paste it. I told you to use it as a reference and create your own
Okay.
list dictionary.
Okay. So in the next slide where you were giving it, there was a space in next to list dictionary dot space API data. Is that the syntax?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
See, this blue is the code, and this
Okay.
black is the description, so that I
Okay.
also remember what I have to tell.
Okay. So a list dictionary has to do nothing, right?
No,
That's just
nothing.
our okay. Thank you.
Okay, let me do try it. Location. Yes. Then inverted commas. City code. I am just making a fake one. I am not using that reference. value is Delhi.
Can you bring up your Visual Studio screen? It is at the bottom of the chat. Thanks.
Why it is showing error?
One should be also in inverted comma. Value one should be also in inverted comma.
This is an integer data type. It
No,
doesn't need.
it doesn't
City
need.
code is a variable name and one is an integer data type.
You need braces as well for syntax. Sure.
The
Sorry,
curly
go ahead.
braces.
Braces.
Uh,
After
curly
curly
braces.
value, just add a comma. Value colon comma before Delhi.
Before Delhi,
Comma.
No. Yes.
No?
Mm,
Yeah.
this is a error because I am defining, I think, dictionary.
mm. That is what it is.
Do you see what happened here?
Curly braces have been added.
Yes, braces are
Why
required.
it
That's
was
the syntax.
why it was giving an error without curly braces? It was giving an error because a list says, okay, this is another variable list says. A list should be separated by a comma. Okay. Here, this is one thing. This is not separated by comma. It was having an invalid character as colon. Then there was one. Then there was comma. Again, there was an invalid character. A list doesn't understand that. Who understands it?
Dictionary.
So if I do this, and if I put a curly brace here, so this is one dictionary, a small dictionary, and this is another dictionary. Now it is not giving an error because it is following the rules of list separated by commas. So this is one term, this is another term separated by comma. List is happy, and within a list we are defining a dictionary. Okay. In dictionary, let me copy paste. क्या कर दिया मैंने? कर दो. List dictionary 1, another variable. I can define two key value pairs by comma within a dictionary. That is allowed. Then outside my dictionary, I can put list another dictionary. So list says this is one term. In that one term, we have two key value pairs. This is another term of list which contains another two key value pairs. Okay. And if I do not want to put it within a list, then this is correct. Without a list, this is a dictionary. Okay. If you look at the API documentation, most of it is in JSON, but those are dictionaries. You will see something like this. Maybe a very deep key value pair. It's key inside key, like we have done too. But in value over Delhi, I can again create a key value pair.
Hi, Shubham.
Hi.
Um, I had a question regarding
Hmm.
dictionary. So instead,
Hmm.
in place of any of the key and value pairs, can we make use of any data type? Here,
See,
most
I
of
am
the
using data type here as a integer, okay, and
yeah,
as a string.
okay,
You can use 20.56. This is float. If you are using true, this is a boolean. What other data type was? I think we are using four only, yeah, other than this.
okay. Thank you.
Shubham, in what all scenarios do you put uh, it in a list and then into dictionary? Like you mentioned about dictionary and list, right? In what all scenarios should we, I mean, what is the purpose of that?
What is?
Like there is two scenarios. One is dictionary and one is list, right?
Hmm.
Like you are defining dictionary inside a list and then just a standalone dictionary. Like what is, I
Yeah,
mean, what kind of scenario do you like? What is the use of those two stuff?
yeah. We will come to it in next few slides. So just be a little patient. Let people understand the difference, how to use them, and let's understand dictionary and list. Then we will come to that. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So now you have a rough idea or very small idea about what is list, what is dictionary, what is list a dictionary within a list. Okay. Now to answer your question, we will do this. Inside cityx variable, I want city code value of 2. So I am using this list. This is city code. Okay. What it will do, tell me. What what value will cityx will store? So let's try it.
3.
You are right. City x equal to city code. Okay, those who are doing it first time, tell me what will the value of cityx if I run a print.
Because
True.
every listed item is designated with some number like if we say 1, 2, 3, so corresponding to it would be 0 item, 1 item, 2 item, something like that. So if we print this city code 2, so it will return 3 as a value.
You are not doing it first time, right?
Yeah, I mean, just a few fundamentals I am familiar with, but I'm not at all,
No, no, don't
provide
don't
this.
don't defend. I was just appreciating you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, those who are doing it first times, city code 2 means position. This 2 without brackets is an integer, and in the list it is showing me the position of the item. Okay, so it is number 2 item in the city code. In the city code, let's see. It starts with 0, 1, 2. So this is 0 position, this is 1 position, this is 2 position. So it will print 3. Okay. If I want to add more items to this list, then I also forgot command. Okay. City code dot. When you are in Visual Studio, if you don't see this, press dot, press control and space bar. It will give you every option that you can do. Okay. I do not understand extend, sort, all these kinds, all these things. What are they? I never use them. If you want their explanation, you can look on Google. But for learning practice, just to learn how to use them, we will use the first one that I have used it. Oh, okay. Now you need to ask yourself, is this a position or this is a value that it will append, means add in the city code? Also, at which place it will add?
It will be the value because
Do this.
It will add at the end of the list, I guess.
Yes, try this,
It will
verify
add.
that what you are thinking is correct or not. Is your thought process correct? Just type in the code, try it out, and appreciate yourself that you are thinking correctly. What will happen if I do this? I don't know actually the answer to this.
Shubham, quick one. I have a question with regards to append. The way we added 4 is using ct4.append. What if we could have added, I mean, we could have added it use ct code equals to 1, 2, 3, then 4 also could have, we could have added that way also, right?
Okay, good question. This 1, 2, 3 we are using as an example. Okay, but in real time, you do not actually know the content of the list, how long the list is. Okay, so it is always a lengthy set of characters, which in even AI or in the real world, if you see Amazon or share market APIs, they have hundreds of values. Okay, if you want to add something to that, you cannot define the list again. Second thing, the content of the list changes in runtime. It might change in runtime. We are not yet to that level of coding, how they change in runtime, but it happens. For example, in API, the values come runtime. Okay, you cannot define the list or you cannot hard code it. So that's why we use append to add something to the bus. And in the bus, we use this fetch anything that is at that value. And it will always come runtime. Like if it is temperature, it will change every day, it will change every minute. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay, so anyone tried this city code insert 25?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Yes, Shubham.
So can you tell me why it came here?
So
Because
it
we are
shows 12534.
Hmm?
We have inserted on the second position the value 5. Second by
Zero,
means
one,
0,
two.
1, 2. Yeah.
12534. It shows.
No, so my question is this 2 comma 5, 2 is also a value, 5 is also a value, or 2 is a position. How do you know first one is position?
uh, I think it matched 2 with 2 and it has added it the place of 2, because
Okay,
uh, initially we had 2 there, so both
No,
the
it's a
2 got
okay.
position.
matched.
For this,
It's a position.
let me say 9. Now what will happen?
It will show 19534. Yeah, so basically insert the second position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So after the second position, you are inserting a new value, which is 5.
Okay, so this is something I did for the first time. But you understand the difference between append and insert, right?
Yes.
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 Good thing. What it will do? Or
There
let's
is
say,
no there is no
wait,
ninth position. It will remove 1 from first position.
first position means 0, 1, or this is you are calling it 0 position as the first position.
I'm saying 1 is as a first position. Saying 0 anywhere.
No, position is always start from 0. So this is 0, this is
Okay.
1 position, this is 2 position, 3 position,
Mm-hmm.
4 position.
Got it. Got it.
So
Got it.
this will remove po item at position
9.
number 1, or it will remove value 1.
9.
Hmm?
Position number 1. That
Position
is
1.
9.
Value 1.
Value 1.
Value.
Value 1.
It will remove the value.
This
Yes.
Shubham, what I understood, let me correct me if I'm wrong. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
where all the values that are inside that list 1 comma 9 comma 3, so those are positions, right? Whenever we see give any command to add something to that position gets added, no, not that value says that position and the value, correct, or is it wrong?
Anybody wants to answer that?
Because
That depends.
now we are removing, sorry, yeah, someone was trying.
I think that depends on the command that you give, whether it is an insert or an append. Append adds the value to the last of the list, and when you have an insert, that gives the position and the value.
Correct. Even that is all, that is my understanding.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So while
Are you sure?
removing this one, city code
Hmm.
dot remove for the first, it will remove
Hmm.
9, right? Because 9 is at the first position.
Actually,
I have
it
not
removed
tried.
one.
Remove one.
See, you will have these questions, but you need to try out the code and understand why it is like this. And that
Hello, sir.
will uh, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, can you please repeat the same thing? I am also facing the same question. Is it about a position or the value? I'm a little bit confused till now. That is why I'm saying this key. Please repeat it once again, so that I can understand more properly.
Okay. When you are using remove, okay, let's start with append. Append says it has an append object has an integer inside the value. Look at the pop-up. When you do append, you need to put an integer within it, and it will append the object at the end of the list. This 4 doesn't matter. Okay, I can type sample. Okay, what it will do? अच्छा ये लाइन मेरा रह गई. See, at the end of the list, it added sample. It is in inverted commas because it is a string. So append definition says it will add anything to the end of the list. Insert definition says supports index. Index means position where you want to add something and what you want to add. So it contains two things, index and object. Okay. First, whatever number you are writing is the index. And second, it is an object. So if I do this, it wrote at the second position. Don't look at this because it is running the below codes also. Okay. At the second position or second index 0, 1, 2, it added exam. Okay. Then we'll look at the remove. It will remove first occurrence of the value. Okay. So it is not talking about the index. That means in Python, when we are using the remove function or remove method, then by definition, we have to give the object that we want to remove. We don't give the index over here. Now your question is how to remove something which is at index 0, right? For that, I also need to Google, or you Google it. Tell me, how do we remove it? Can you do it now?
I guess we
Can
need
be
to add that value only to remove what is at the
Can you
zero
type in,
position.
can you, no, Suppose you do not know what is at the zero position. You just want to remove anything that is at zero position. However, I do not see any case, or I cannot remember that in a list or in a dictionary why we want to remove something at specific number. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Okay, we want to remove something specific, that makes sense. But even if you want to remove something at a specific index, Google it, let me know, type in chat so we can all see.
Okay, let me try that.
This is logical what I'm saying. It can be a comma there, one comma sample.
Sorry, repeat your question again.
No, no, this is my guess. Actually, I have not Googled it. But like insert, we can keep a comma and the text at that position or the value at that position.
See, by definition, remove doesn't support index.
Yeah.
So you cannot do anything that is not
Hmm.
defined in the remove method. Just because it seems logical, but
Hmm.
they have hard coded the remove method. Okay.
So if you want to
If
remove
you,
multiple things, multiple, then we have to type it twice.
that's a good question. That's a very good question. I'll tell you a little later.
Mhm.
But you people are learning good because you are asking the right questions.
ChatGPT says we'll
Okay.
have to use a del statement.
Eh?
Del. Del, delete. That's
Can you type in chat? I will also see.
yes, I can.
So, okay, that you have. So there are a lot of such things that you will encounter where you want to do something you don't know. What I am trying to teach over here is how to think, okay, with
Okay.
some basic Python commands. Now you have found this del, you can actually use it. You can work on your list and you will find thousands of such things. Like we are currently working just on a very small example things, okay?
Okay.
When you want to say, suppose you want to send an email out of your code, you
Right.
want to define subject, body, headers, sender, recipient, and everything. At that
Yes.
time, you will need to look at the internet, find the code, understand it, and modify it to your requirements.
Okay.
Okay, you will probably never do that because we are not developers, but at least you will understand how the code is working. And I'll highly suggest to start a simple project, anything. If you really want to learn or the Python and do the things. Okay. If you want to delete multiple things, there might be a better way. Question we use for loop. Okay, but let's start with the if and else statement. It is pretty clear, right?
Yes.
What we are doing here. So can you try it on your system? If temperature is greater than 25, season equal to summer, else season equal to winter, and at the end print season. Can you do it?
Yes, trying it out.
पुनीत कितना टाइम बचा है? Or whoever the moderator is. Can you tell me how much time we have?
We have exactly around 43 minutes if it's
Okay,
12:30.
then we are going slow a little bit, I think. Let me see.
No, the session is till 12:45, Shubham. We have 1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour.
There's a workshop. Can you tell me? I need to look at that
Shubham,
curriculum.
Shubham?
Yeah.
So in this condition, first we should define what is temperature and other things, right?
Yeah, actually, in this PPT, we, in starting, we had defined these things. And if you're using Visual Studio Code, then you might have already defined these at the top of the list, but
No, I'm using the command prompt.
okay, then you need to define.
Okay.
And these are the exact errors that I want you to understand. What you forget when you do something like this, what you don't know. Nobody has any questions on this?
No, no, no. You were changing the slides. I'm seeing the slide and typing. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can anyone tell me what is the value of season when you print?
Then dot.
Those who are getting winter, that means you already know indentation in Python.
It showed that error, saying that indent error is there when I ran it and debugged it on the visual code. So
Mhm.
yeah, at that particular point, it was showing that it is not indented.
Yes, that's why I want you people to talk about.
Shubham, if we just run that if statement, how we will get the output? I think I'm missing something.
You need to use the print statement.
So we should print a temperature, correct?
Right? Let me know. Actually, theoretical, this is the last slide. So I want to spend much time because from now difficulty starts. And these two conditions and loop, if and for loop, everything is based on this. Everything, every code, unless you are using AI, even that has this.
Morning.
No questions?
Time indentation error.
Yeah, try to solve it. Let me know. Or someone share your screen who is still getting errors.
Let me share mine. Can you see?
Mm, yeah. Okay, people,
Unexpected
please help
indent.
him. Anybody wants to help him?
The if should start at the beginning. I mean, just
Yeah,
put
it
shift
shouldn't
tab,
be indented. This
shift
if
tab, shift tab,
and um
season also, shift tab.
All to be
print
at the
season.
left hand.
Season should be there. And temperature shouldn't be in inverted quotes while you're printing this. It shouldn't be. It should be season,
It will
not
print.
temperature.
It will print the temperature now. It won't print the season.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. I'll share my screen again now. I'm sorry, who is this? Hello? Okay. So there's a thing called indentation or dation, I don't know, whatever it is. Okay. Antedating ये क्या होता है पता नहीं. Indentation, something like this, whatever the word is. In Python, we do not use semicolons unlike C Sharp and Java. Okay. We are writing plain simple statements. So have one statement is dependent on another statement, then how Python will understand. For example, in all these statements, this statement is not dependent on city code. Print is a separate statement. You want to print, you don't want to print. Here we are, it is not dependent on anything. Like we defined the city code, that's the end. We identified city X. Okay, that is using city code, but that is not actually dependent on city code. Okay, let me show you how dependent means. If do I have temperature over here? No, I need to temp equal to 25. Temp equals to we always use 2 times equal to 25. Then here I am using colon to mark the end of if statement because this is just one condition. If can have too many condition. Temp is less than 30 or temp is greater than 20 means I can write so many conditions. I'm just using the fake one. So what I'm saying is colon marks the end of if statement. Now when the program interpreter we call it will come to this part, then it needs some more information. It always run from top to down. When this happens, it needs some more information. Okay, what it need to do? That's why we are using print. That when it comes to this, use this. If we don't do this, then system gives error. Okay, like if I'm using this, it is coming to this. It is expecting something to do here. Python says always intend your conditional statements. Even in for loop, you will need to condition it out. Now when the interpreter is here, I can maybe use one more if statement, right? Then if I put even a space over here, then it gives error because this if condition is not dependent on print. It was expecting at the same level. Okay. If I do this, then again it is giving me error because it was expecting at this level. So this is also correct. This is also correct. So how would you know which one is correct? And This is also correct. But the next line should start here only. Same level of indentation. It cannot start here. It cannot start here. In Python, indentation is very important. Now, coming back, tell me what is the difference between an if over here and if over here? This is not a very good example to understand that, but still try.
Loop that if is inside the another the parent if I guess. I don't know how to put it, but my point is the first one is the parent. Second, if we indent it to that position inside the first the parent, then it becomes a loop inside a loop. Yeah.
See, what you are saying is correct, but you are not audible properly.
Gotcha. So what I'm saying, the first if is a parent loop what we want to create, and if we indent it, the second if inside that parent, then it becomes a loop inside loop.
Yeah, that's right. So let me give you a better example. Uh, uh, if country is India, if अरे ये तो बहुत सारा प्रिंट हो गया. Okay, I'm thinking runtime, so this might not again be the best example, but do you understand what's happening here? So let me put it, yeah. So we have a condition state equal to Karnataka here also, here also. Can you tell me what will happen if I run this code? Or try it on your end. Okay, we will take 10 to 15 minutes break. Try it. We'll come back. Meanwhile, try to find examples on Google, do some research, do anything. Show me errors so that we can talk about errors. Yeah, Hema. Hema, you want to say
Sorry,
something?
just wanted to say okay.
Okay. Okay, so see, this is after this if and else conditions, we have for loop. Okay, and that is what we have for today. And it will not take 1 hour. So what I want to do is I want you to try something random, do anything, and show us errors, what error you are getting, so we can brainstorm those errors. Take any example from Google, find the code, ask a question to chat GPT, try to run that, do something. We'll do it in, that means when we come back after 15 minutes, we'll do it. We'll look at the errors. Okay.
Please, can you display the PowerPoint slide?
Puneet, did you send them PowerPoint yet?
Who
Who's the
asked the
moderator?
question? Did you join from beginning? We messaged in the chat that the PPT has been emailed to all of you. Please check the email.
We were busy in attending this session, so
I,
we
I,
didn't
I
look at the chat.
Sincere, we have
no
sincere
problem,
audience.
no problem. After the session started, we have sent an email. Please check. There is a PDF file of this PPT.
Thank you.
That means people are actually enjoying this. That's why they are not distracted.
All that means people are
Yes,
not seeing my messages, but you guys are seeing other messages.
unless and until we didn't focus on it, no, it's very difficult to understand. If you miss
Of
one point, uh,
of course, of course.
we cannot move
And
ahead.
I assume the session is going pretty nice. All of you are
Yes, yes. Yeah.
able to do it.
And
Good.
Shubham, the pace you are maintaining a very right pace. Please maintain this pace only. Don't hurry
Okay.
at all.
Okay,
Arpita, you
Shubham,
want
Let
to
you
say
want
let
something?
some of the part instead of finishing it in hurry and we may not serve the purpose. Let's keep it minimum at least so that whatever we do it here is understood properly.
Yeah, that's why it's a working session. I didn't want to present it like a workshop.
Correct.
Arpita, you want to say
Yeah,
something?
sure. Yes, Shubham. Actually, like while downloading that Visual Studio Code, so
Hmm.
there are multiple options like user installer, system installer, and .zip and CLI. So which to go with?
Okay. Everybody else, this is a break. Those who have issues, questions, stay here. We'll discuss. Arpita, can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure. Hope you
Use the
can see
Windows
my
one.
screen. Yeah, this one, but like there are multiple options, no? User installer, system installer.
No, use the big blue Windows 10
This
one.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Shubham.
Okay. It will give you thousands of options. Just don't select anything. Keep the next minimum things.
Okay, sure, sure. Thank you.
Okay. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Then I'll take other questions. I'm back if any questions. Discuss something. Devin, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you need help with Visual Studio Code or something? You
Yes,
had a different
yes.
environment. Okay, share
Yeah.
your screen. Let's do that.
So I have been, just a minute. I think I lost my mouse. So I've been using the command prompt only. Now we can use the Visual Studio. So I'll have to download, right?
You did already, right? Or you didn't?
I, I I didn't do the Visual Studio, but Python I did it.
Okay. Can you? Mm, 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 mm. How did you open this window?
Uh, through the PowerShell only, I guess. Command prompt.
In
You can
command
do.
prompt, it is working, na?
Yeah.
Earlier, it was not working in command prompt, right?
Yes, it was not working, but somebody suggested me that I should download it from the Windows Store, and I did it, and it has started working.
Okay. Do one thing. Open Notepad plus plus. You have that.
Okay. Yes.
No, not
Yes.
simple Notepad. Yeah. How do we run this file? This file is on your desktop, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go to command prompt.
Okay. Should I
Go to
open new one?
desktop. No, that's okay. We can do it here. Go to desktop
Just a minute.
from this command prompt.
Uh, Desktop. I should do change directory. No. How do
No,
I?
it won't work like this. Do one thing.
Uh,
On your Windows, go to desktop. Okay, you are in command prompt now. Huh. Okay. Here, copy the path. No, not this. From the address bar. Yeah, copy it. Open your command prompt. Type exit and brackets. No, it won't work
okay.
like this. Escape.
Okay.
Exit.
Exit.
Brackets. Yeah. Okay, now type cd. You need to put cd first.
E.
Space. Now enter
Yes.
that.
Okay.
No, no. cd space the path of desktop that you copied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now type Python
Then
space and your file name.
test file dot py.
Enter.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So what you need to do is you can work on your Python test file. You can make changes,
Okay.
do everything. But to run,
Okay.
you need to run this command again. Your current
Okay.
location should be desktop.
Okay.
Okay. And you need to run python space test file.py.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I think I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah. Do if and else statements conditions because there is something. Those are important after list and dictionary.
Okay.
Conditional statements are the most important things.
Okay. Thank you.
Shubham,
Hi.
hi. I'm also facing issue on Visual Studio. Actually, I'm not able to run the command. So can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes, I have just added the dictionary over here, but
Hmm.
mm, so there is some syntax error expression expected after directory key.
There's
No,
no
wait.
In
value
line
for your
number
temperature.
6.
There's no value for your temperature.
Oh, no, no. What happened previously, I just share my screen and the logo is here. Before, I just not able to view the run Python file. So yes, now got it. Sorry for that. Wait. Oh, this is the
See,
stale face.
y- you didn't print anything, that's why it ran and it
Oh, okay.
ended.
Yeah, right.
If you are still on this, then we could have waited
No, no. I
before
have.
going to if statement.
No, no. I just means tried in command prompt, but I just check in Visual Studio as well. So that's why. Um, in Visual Studio, what happened because the extension is not there, so not able to debug the code. So that's what I'm facing the issue in previous, but now I think it's resolved, and I'll just continue with the if statement. Sorry for that, and thank you. I just stop sharing the screen.
Don't be sorry, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
Show, talk about errors.
yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Shubham.
Hello.
Uh, yeah, actually, I installed that Visual Studio Code. So it was asking like, do you want to install the Python extension for Visual Studio Code? So is
Yes,
that
do
required?
it.
Okay.
Shubham, one thing. So let's say if we are writing an API documentation based out of Python, what
Hmm.
is the real world scenario? As in, they will give you the code, and from those code you need to extract all the endpoints, methods, payloads, and everything. Is it how it is done, or is it something that you will be covering later on in this course?
There are two parts of API documentation. One we are fetching API, one we are posting things. Okay.
Correct.
When we fetch API, then uh, we need to read the API documentation, right?
Correct.
Means at that time we don't need uh, for the get function. Uh, See, you need to read the code if you really want to understand how API is working.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
so in your organization, I mean, normally in real world scenario, you as a dev tech writer, they expose code to technical writers to read about it.
No, I just talk with them, get the access, and I figure it out myself. They don't normally give the access, but I asked them for the read access and they gave me. And I don't do API documentation at this point. I don't get
Okay.
that opportunity. But the thing is, when you are writing about API, na, developers actually don't use the API that way, the way we write it.
Yeah, I know.
You know? So that's why it becomes very important to understand the API so they don't get frustrated with the errors because of things that they don't know
Hmm.
and trying out.
I mean, learning Python will be useful when our developers are using Python, right? If they are using any other programming language, that will be a challenging task, right?
Sorry, come again?
As in, if the developers are using a different programming language, then that would be a challenging task for us, right? If they are
No,
using,
that won't be a challenge. See, uh, the logic for every code is same. Okay.
okay,
Like the process on you have to define something, or you need to fetch something, or you need to store something.
syntax may
Then you
vary
need to
maybe.
do a little bit syntax. I have worked on C Sharp, Python, and Java, all three. Okay,
Yeah,
as
but
a
the
hobby
Java
project.
syntax is bit different compared to Python, right?
Yes, it is different, but still you can understand what's happening there.
Mhm.
Okay, we don't want to be hardcore developer,
Mhm.
but you will understand enough if you yourself want to do a hobby project.
Mhm.
And believe me, if I don't know which means, if you want to target some of the big companies, then they expect you to understand these things
Correct.
so that you can be an independent writer.
Mhm.
If I have to take an interview of a technical writer for this kind of developer documentation or API documentation, uh, I will look at his sample on how he's writing. Okay, I won't ask him questions on why he has written in such a way. I'll just ask him how much API does he understand, how he
Mhm.
can test it.
Mhm.
That's what I will do as an interviewer. Okay, we are over time. Okay, everybody back. How will we know that someone is not back if he's not here? Okay, so did you look at the conditions? Did anything? Did you find new errors? No. Okay, can anyone explain me this difference between line number 29 and line number 32? Which one we should use? When to use this? No one?
In the for Shiva, in the first
Hmm.
this one section, if
Hmm.
country is in India and if the state is Karnataka, then only it will
Hmm.
print Karnataka as part of India. Okay, both
Hmm.
conditions should meet. Okay, whereas in the second section, if the state is Karnataka, then the second it has only one condition to be satisfied or meet, whatever you can say. Whereas in the first section, there are two conditions that needs to be met.
Right. So what will happen is code runs line by line from line number 1 to line number 33. Okay. If you are seeing indentation means this condition is true and this condition is true, then something is happening. Here this condition is true. This is also true, but these are independent conditions. Even if the condition on line number 28 becomes false, this becomes true, then it will print this. But in this case, both has to be true. So that's how indentation work.
Any better example to understand this? Google it out. I tried to Google it out. I didn't find to verify how one condition meets another doesn't meet, then what the output will be.
Yeah.
In the loop, that is nested, they say, right? Nested or nested, I guess. That is what I read now.
Yeah, means we can call it parent child, we can call it nested, or those are the just jargons
Hmm.
to differentiate things. But again, the point is something has to be true, another thing has to be true, both has to be true, then only Karnataka will be a part of India. Else it will doubt. Okay. Do you understand condition? If or else condition. Okay. I didn't tell about else. So if something is not true, you don't always need to type else. Like if you're using only one condition, if something is true, then it's okay. Else everything is false. You might need not write this condition, else condition, not always necessary, because if it is false, then the interpreter will obviously jump to the next s- uh, line. Okay. In
There
this
would
case,
be
if I do
two
not,
else, right? If I go by
huh?
indentation, there will be two else. We have to write two else. First for the parent one and second for the child one.
No,
Else statement.
no, no. It is not necessary. You can choose to write. Okay. When I started coding, I also did else every time. But later I realized like code will go here first of all. If country is India, okay, it will check. Yes, it already has a variable defined. Country is India. Then it will go to next line. If state is Karnataka, yes, state is Karnataka. If this is false, like let's say state is Maharashtra. So this is false. In this case, code will go out of the if loop if this is not written. Let's say this condition is false, so code will directly go to line number 33.
Okay, okay. Got it now. Right, right.
Okay. If I write else over here, okay, let me do this. What will happen is now this print and this print are not at the same indentation. Will it throw an error? It will not throw an error because, sorry, Rahul, to cut you out. It will not throw an error because when the code was this, it looked in the intended code. Nothing was it at this level. So it came back to the previous level. Then it looked at the intended level. This indentation has nothing to do with this indentation. Okay. Okay. Now, Elif. Let me remove this. It will create confusion. Hashtag means comment. System will not run this code. Okay. Some tools use these hashtag to generate documentation. If developers has done proper hashtag, then you can generate documentation out of it. But coming back, Elif, if this condition is true, system will go to here. Then system will evaluate this condition. Then if it is true, system will go here. Then system will evaluate this condition. If it is true, or it will always be true because it is else, system will go here. Okay, I will repeat again. If this condition is not true, system will directly go here. If this is true, system will go here. And else. So in this case, else is important because what I am printing doesn't suit anywhere else. I cannot print it here. I cannot print it here. And I certainly cannot print it here because system will obviously run this code. This is out of any condition. When do we use else? Many cases, but general cases, if something is true, something is true else, throw an error. Error 404 not found. Kind of that scenarios we can use else. We do not put it here because system will run this code line by line. It will always come to this code even if this condition is false. Am I making sense? What I can do is
Solna.
Shubham, elif is what? Elif is else if.
I didn't understand. Can you go again?
What is elif? Elif is what? Else if or what it is?
Yeah, it is else if. Python command for else if.
Okay.
Can you tell me what's happening here? Simple question. If this condition is false, system will not execute any of this. It will directly come to this. If this condition is true, how it will know this condition is true? It will look at the country. If this is true, it will present this, else it will do nothing over here. If this condition is true, system will evaluate this. If this is true, this, else. Again, it will always evaluate this. This is true, it will evaluate this. This will evaluate this, and system will evaluate this. If this is false, it will not evaluate this. If it is true, then it will evaluate this. Since this was true, system evaluate this, but it is at the same indentation, so system will evaluate this. Okay. Okay, last thing here, do this and city, no city, not city. Happen in this scenario, just answer me this one. If I run this particular piece of code, do it, I'll copy paste. Tell me what happens. Anyone?
It's showing error. Continent is not defined.
But we define the continent.
Yeah, I've pasted the same code you put in the
But that
chat.
is inside that if statement, no?
Hmm?
That is inside if statement. The
Yes,
continent is
why it is giving an error when we have defined country, state, city, and the continent, then why it is
but
showing error?
So it should be
continent
defined
is
earlier. I'm not sure, like it's just a
It
guess.
should be different. Try, change your
At
code,
the top
try
of the
it.
code, we have to declare.
Huh?
At the top of the code, we have to declare the variable.
Try it. Let me know. Okay. So in trust of time, yes, it is giving error because at this point the Python doesn't know what is continent. So how the code works is It will go from top to bottom. It will look at the country. It will store in as a variable. It stores state as a variable, city as a variable, but it doesn't know what continent is. And if I put this at the top, then it knows what the continent is. That's why I'm not getting any error. Make
Correct.
sense?
Yes, correct.
Okay. How much time we have now?
You're not.
We don't have time.
Okay.
If you have something to
So
come wind up, you can wind up.
yes, I gave you two codes. One is dictionary. Copy this. And these are two independent exercises actually. Copy this too.
Which one, Shubham?
Look at the meeting chat.
Hmm.
There are two codes. One is related to library. It is a dictionary.
Hmm.
And another one is this related to date time.
Okay.
Okay. These are two independent exercises. In the first exercise, you need your task is to do this. And yes, you can use Google, anything, but the objective is to learn. So just use judiciously. Okay. What I pasted just now in the chat belongs to the code of library, dictionary of library. You need to do these things. Okay, you have PPT for your reference. You have internet, Google, everything for your reference. It contains for loop that we have not talked about. Still, I am giving you this so that you can try. You can know what errors we will be talking about. So when we will continue tomorrow, you will
Correct.
have some idea about for loop.
Okay.
This is your first exercise. Second exercise is to use this import datetime code, understand it, what's happening, and write it down somewhere. Consider you want to document this. Okay. Don't worry about formatting. Don't worry about anything while documenting this. Just worry about the content. Only content. Okay. This is developer documentation kind of thing. Uh, in terms of your current knowledge, what you have to write for this code is similar to what they actually do in the code. You will never understand in the first thing. You need to do the same steps even after this workshop, even after you learn Python. If you become great in Python, if you have 2 years of experience, then also you won't understand a thing in the code. You need to take a piece, you need to go Google, you have to run it, you have to do everything. And that's what we are doing it here. Okay. There are a lot of terms in that import datetime code, which I have not told you. Steve, can you mute, please? Thank you. So what I'm saying is in real time, you will always see these lot of new terms that you won't understand. You will need time. You need to you need to understand them. You need to debug them to do that. Okay. Try it. And if you have any questions, We are always here, anytime. Even today, if you have questions, come to us, we'll help you. Or talk in the languages chapter of the TWT group, so everybody can help you. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, so just to add to what Shubham said, people, we requested you all before also to join that languages group, right? And ask questions related to installation. Nobody did that before. So now at least please use it because it's tough to handle every question here, right? So please do that. Thank you, everyone. And thank you,
Yeah.
Thank
Shubham.
you.
So we will catch up again tomorrow at 10:15.
Tomorrow's session will be difficult. I'm telling you in advance. If you don't do this, it will be very difficult.
Hi, Shubham. Actually, I have an issue if you have some time.
Yeah, I'm here for next half an hour to take questions.